Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 19th June of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we're going to look at two stories from the gaming industry. First, we're going to take a look at the fact that the World Health Organization has finally classified, they made it official that compulsive gaming is a mental disorder. And secondly, we're going to take a look at GameStop, and it looks it's going to get bought out. But let's begin with the World Health Organization. And you may remember this piece of news as we talked about it in some detail about, I think, a few months ago. So, essentially came out with the news that WHO is going to update their international classification of diseases for the first time since 1990, which, wow, that's a long time not to update such a list. And they also said that one of the new diseases or disorders that would appear on that list would be excessive gaming. And now, this has come true to be an official thing. So, I really don't know what to think of this. On one hand, I think it's important for us gamers at large to acknowledge that there is such a thing as being addicted to games. And I don't think many gamers would even dispute that fact existing. The question is this different from any other kind of psychological addiction? Because I can understand you having classification for addiction to nicotine, addiction to alcohol, to certain other kinds of drugs. But when it comes to things you get psychologically addicted to, they almost seem like they should fit under one umbrella. Because the treatment for them should, well, most of the time it will be some kind of behavioral psychology treatment, like cutting you off from the games, or either like just stop playing altogether, or getting you down slowly so you can adjust depending on what exactly your needs are. It just doesn't seem like it should be its own disorder, to be honest. And only about 3% of gamers are believed to be affected by video game addiction. I would honestly say that the number is going to be much, much lower. 3% seems insanely overreaching. Like, Fortnite is currently at around 100 million players. That would mean that 3 million of those are addicted. And I'm going to say bullshit on that. I'm going to say it's more like 3% of a percent, maybe, at most. I would really like to see some real statistical data, because there is a difference between gaming a lot and being addicted to gaming. There really is a difference. For example, I game a lot. I game a ton. I game like 4 to 6 hours a day. Am I addicted? No, because it is my job. And sometimes I even despise gaming at moments when I'm playing bad games that I just throw in the gutter and be fucking done with them. But yes, again, gaming addiction can appear, and does appear, at times. And sometimes it can be pretty dangerous. Like, just a few days ago, we talked about this little girl that was 9 years old and was gaming 10 hours a day, and she would literally fall asleep at school, and she would wet herself because she didn't want to leave the game. That is an obvious case of addiction to video games. But just excessive gaming is... Could you then say that somebody who reads 6 to 8 hours a day is addicted to books? Somebody who watches 6 to 8 hours of TV is addicted to TV? No, I don't think so. And just saying that gaming excessively, whatever that exactly means, is a mental disorder seems like complete bullshit to me. Yes, again, I acknowledge that you can get addicted to video games. But saying 3% of gamers? No, that's just not the real number. I really want to see some statistical data on this, and I think I'm going to try to make like a commentary video on this at large, because this just seems like complete bullshit to me. I'm sorry, VHO, but saying 3% of gamers are affected? No, not at the least. Okay, and our second piece of news is about GameStop. One of the dying parts of the gaming industry, I'm sad to say. I personally don't care about GameStop. I care about game shops in general. And with the way the industry has been evolving over the last 20 years, let's say, buying online has just become such a big thing, and especially in the last decade. And this is pretty obvious if you take a look at the capitalization of GameStop, which was $9.4 billion in 2007, and right now it's just $1.42 billion. That's an insane amount of loss. But recently, it seems that GameStop may be heading to better times as their stocks rise by 13% to $15.78. And people think this is because the company is going to get bought out. And that will probably be a saving grace for many of the shareholders of GameStop, because right now they're just leaking money. And I really don't see any sort of world where, for a long-term investment, GameStop is something that is worth having in your portfolio. It's a dying industry selling games, like physical copies of games. And even then, if you really, really want a physical copy of a game, you could probably just order it and have it delivered to you. Yes, there are parts of the game shop industry that will probably survive for, at the very least, years, maybe even decades, which is buying and selling secondhand games. But how much profit do these companies actually make on these? I'm going to bet that it's nothing compared to the sales of real games. So, in the end, if you are a stockholder in GameStop, I highly suggest you sell those now. You probably won't be getting a better price by much. It might rise a little bit more with more talks of this permeating the industry. But if you want to hold them long term, I just don't think that is a good investment. It just doesn't make sense. And this is just an all-out thing in the industry. Shops with physical copies of games are a dying trend, and everyone knows it. Even the people who own GameStop know it. But they're clinging to their business, hoping that something will just revive it. But nothing like that will come. Seriously, there is no reason for gamers to buy physical copies unless they want things like collector's editions. But even those you can buy pretty often online and have them delivered. So why would you spend your time going to a shop? There's just no reason. And creating secondhand markets is really not that hard. It works for almost every other kind of product. Just freaking look at eBay. You just post the games you want to sell there, and people will buy them if they want them. Yes, it eliminates the joy of browsing through these games. Sure, that may be a part that some people may be nostalgic about for a while. But in the end, it's just such a huge inconvenience that if you really want to go through old games, you can just go through a thrifting shop. You know, just go and thrift a little bit. You will find the games, and people, if they really want them want to sell them to a physical place, they can again go and sell them to, I know, some thrift shop. It just doesn't make sense for real world game shops to exist anymore at this day and age. And that saddens me. I remember as I was a child, I loved going through these shops and just, oh man, I wish I could buy this, but I don't have the money. It brings us so much nostalgia. But on the other hand, we need to be realistic. Nostalgia can only sustain a part of the market. Yes, there will still be game shops, but they will need to expand their businesses. As I suggested, maybe they should become like repairsmen for consoles or cell phones and, I know, any sort of technology. Maybe they should become like partway places where you go with your friends and play tabletop games. And once you're there, maybe you buy a game. But again, there's really not that much room for that sort of market. I just don't see it as being an option long term, to be honest. So I hope GameStops and all other shops with games survive as long as they can. But I just don't see it existing for more than a decade, to be honest. And with that being said, that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news, as we are a source of daily gaming news every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.